Welcome to the weekend roundup. I'm Dean. DeanBlundell.substack.com is where you can find me. That is Lev. Lev Remembers is where you can find Lev, everybody here on Substack. He's busy right now. We've got some things cooking. We're trying to get some answers, and those answers lie with a few people. And what are we trying to get answers about? The Epstein files. Who are we trying to get answers from? Basically fucking everybody today, and that is the tone of today's show. Hello, Sharon. Hi from Holden, Missouri. Where are we all in coming from? Kate Justice. God, Kate's done some great reporting. Great work unmasking Catherine Keating, by the way, Kate. Can't wait to have you on, too. Oh, as sad as it is, the beginning of the end has already begun, ladies and gentlemen. We are winning. The victims will get justice. I firmly believe that. Not only is today a huge day, right now we have Ghislaine Maxwell sweating pedophile bullets in a closed House hearing in Congress, just repeating the following phrase: I assert my Fifth Amendment. I assert my Fifth Amendment. I assert my Fifth Amendment on the grounds that my answer might incriminate me and others. I reserve my Fifth Amendment all day long and into the night. And as her pedophile trafficking buddy Donald Trump used to say, and still says, even though he probably won't say this anymore, only fucking guilty people plead the Fifth Amendment. We are at the end of the lie, ladies and gentlemen. And not only do we have some great news for you about how this community, this beautiful community of people, plans to deliver some very bad news to Congress during Pam Bondi's testimony, we're going to uncover some of the quislings around this whole thing that are traitors to humanity, that are going on and on and on about what they say they didn't know, about them hiding their own fealty to Donald Trump within this community. We've watched Michael Cohen go off for the past couple of days, so we've got an offer for him he can't refuse. I know he'll appreciate that. We're going to make Michael Cohen an offer he can't refuse. Not only that, we're going to dig into some of Ghislaine Maxwell's testimony today, and of course, the beginning of the end is nigh. Please welcome to the program my friend and yours, Mr. Lev Parnas, former Giuliani and Trump fixer. How are you, pal? You all right today? You good on this Monday? You have a good birthday weekend?
It was, I gotta tell you, for all the love, all the, Eric, what's up? What's up, everybody? Incredible birthday weekend. And I look forward to your birthday weekend coming up because Dean's coming up. So it's like, we got one after the other. And Laura Kay, I see, is here. Laura Kay shares a birthday with me. We had a lot of birthdays, I think, and a lot of our subscribers on the 5th, on the 8th. And so happy birthday to all of the Aquariuses out there. And I just want to say that it was a great weekend. A lot of things are happening. First of all, not only birthdays, but also we had the Super Bowl, and we're going to talk about that. How yesterday's Bad Bunny performance. Not only was it an incredible, performance, but also how it triggered Trump MAGA, and I mean,
Laura Loomer's big mad, dude. Laura Loomer's really mad. Puerto Rico today.
Well, Donald Trump actually was watching it. That's the interesting part.
They all were.
They were all watching it in Mar-a-Lago. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, they watched the whole thing, 13 and a half minutes. They're like, we hated it. I'm like, you could have turned it off for the TPUSA Kid Rock lip singing extravaganza while he was running around like an old dude in shorts. But holy shit. Yeah, we'll talk about that today. That was incredible.
Yeah. So, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
No, you go first.
No, I mean it's one of the things that I think is a theme.
Where do you want to begin? I mean, there's so much, I know. I know. So why don't we start off with I guess the elephant in the room before we move on to, I know, because there's we have a lot of subscribers, a lot of people that some are confused, some are just waking up, some have not been a part of all of the drama going on, some are literally upset because they're hearing things back and forth, and it's really unfortunate that that's going on. And so what we've been trying to do today, so I guess let me bring everybody up to speed because some people might not know what's going on to understand what's happening. So as part of this Epstein dump, as part of what's going on with uncovering all of these people in the Epstein files, just like Howard Lutnick, Donald Trump, and everybody else. There was an individual, Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen, the same person that used to be part of this community,
Mhm.
somebody that was I used to share a show with called Unleashed. He used to come up here with Dean and us, and was somebody that on the Midas touch, somebody that for years has been talking about saving democracy. For years has been talking about going against Donald Trump and all of this type of stuff, and somewhat he's become a sort of a darling to the media and so some of these reporters because of his entanglement in that whole Stormy Daniels stuff,
Yeah.
and that's fair, and he came out, he said whatever he said, he spoke under oath, and you gotta give credit where credit is due, but all of a sudden,
But he
as
didn't
we
go the full Monty. He didn't go all the way.
he didn't
Yeah.
go the full Monty, and I knew he didn't go the full Monty, and a lot of people knew he didn't go the full Monty. But the whole thing is, I think people were willing to excuse him on the full Monty because I think what I thought the full Monty and what others thought probably I would assume had to do with business, had to do with certain things that maybe he didn't want his wife to find out, maybe
Yeah.
certain things he didn't want, maybe get in trouble because of certain things he was involved with Trump and so that was something where it was a fine line where I think certain people kind of like well, he's helping save our democracy, there's no reason to like let's try to go destroy the guy.
Yeah,
uh
let's get that information from other people and let's just take what
Correct.
we can get from him. Yeah, they kinda gave him that pass, to your point.
Correct.
Yeah.
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 So I think Michael Cohen, scathed through this whole thing, and that was all good. But then all of a sudden, when the Epstein files started coming out, and when it became a major thing, the one thing that Michael Cohen became was a major preponderant of releasing all the Epstein files. We would go on the show together on Unleashed. We would wherever we go, and we would all be on the same message. We were even discussing about going around the country and forcing, release the Epstein files. But the one thing that, I'm not a Michael Cohen expert. I'm not when it comes to the Epstein files. I'm not a Epstein files expert. I've not, I am not a one of these investigative journalists that digs through this. I'm not my son Aaron or Ellie or Zev or Kate, justice of these great, incredible people that actually go do this digging stuff. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah. Yeah, me
So
neither.
so
Yeah.
so I so to me, I did not know all the facts. So when Michael would bring up and say that he met with a different Jane Doe or stuff like that during the shows, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and we moved on. I never confronted him because I didn't know, truth, what it is. And then but then when all of a sudden at some point, Ellie and Tara Palmieri and Zev Shalev and all of these great independent journalists and people that I consider family, people that Michael Cohen I think at some time considered family. That's the crazy part. They considered this whole big community. Started asking questions. What's it called? Somebody said Phyllis Cat Cohen lied and refused to. By the way, guys, just I'll get you. I'm just giving you guys an up to speed where we are. I've been in touch with Michael Cohen while we've been live, so I've been
Mhm.
trying. I'm trying to get him on. For those of you that are still subscribed to him or could DM him, go DM him. I'm literally. I will go read you the text messages in 2 minutes. We've been going back and forth because I've been trying to get him up because there's a reason, and I'll get to that. So
Just
anyway.
for the first time since it came out that he indeed, according to some really very interesting, incredible reporting from Ellie, Zev, Kate, and a few others, that Michael Cohen knows more about the not just the Katie Johnson story, but Michael Cohen is being less than truthful in everybody's estimation, according to the receipts we have about his effort to pay off or threaten or get these things to go away when it came to the possible abuse of minors at the hands of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And that's just a little recap and recourse for the conversation. And so for people that are currently watching, Lev, prior to coming on, reached out kindly to Michael and said, "Hey, listen, you want to come on and tell the whole story from the beginning? Feel free. I mean, if we're wrong, this is a chance for Michael Cohen to set the record straight." And it's seemingly that has been offered to him many times, not just with yourself, with Joy Reid, with us, everybody else. The invitation is open. We haven't blocked him. I haven't blocked Michael Cohen. I'm more than happy to have him come on the show. And if indeed we're wrong, then and Michael Cohen did try to pay off or intercede on Trump's behalf with a different minor, why don't we go right to the beginning and start telling that story in itself? Let's just start from, square one. When did it happen? Who were you told to go after? Obviously, there's got to be a name attached if you're going to threaten or try to buy someone off or try to silence anybody according to what you want them to not talk about, which is, that's not in the offing here, Lev. That's not up for grabs. Is that Cohen has admitted that yes, he has done that, but it was not this 13-year-old Katie Johnson who has since gone missing. And in the Epstein file, specifically in this recent up, there is more that would dictate that Michael Cohen knows much more about the information he was willing to trade on behalf of what he heard from Trump or what he heard from Epstein or his involvement in both. He was trying to get a lighter sentence. And that has led to, over the past several weeks, Michael for some reason coming after me, coming after you implicitly, telling everybody that we're the wolf pack and we're killing this community. We're not trying to kill anybody. We're trying to get to the bottom of this for victims. We're trying to get accountability. And if Michael knows something that might be able to help those victims, and if he's currently hiding some of that information or not willing to talk about it, that indeed is a moral issue for people with character that are trying to do the work for these victims so we can get to the fucking bottom of it, to your point.
Yeah, no, I mean well said, Dean. I mean, I don't even know how otherwise to explain. I mean, I've been texting with him back and forth. I mean, here I'll give you just a little bit example of it. I mean,
Is he open to
this
it?
is
Yeah, tell me. Yeah.
no, I mean this is the weird part. Like I don't understand. See, I know the reason why he wants to talk to me offline because he wants to try to explain to me some kind of stuff, but I don't want to listen to. It. I want to have Ellie there. I want to have people that are Otero or Zeb or people that know what they're looking for. I don't want to be. See, this is the problem. I don't want to get on the phone with Michael Cohen, and hopefully Michael Cohen watches this, and I'm gonna tell him again, but I don't want to get on the phone for him to tell me a story. I mean, it's not about a story. It's not about, hey,
Yeah.
you're wrong, I'm wrong, because you're going to hear this is a crazy conversation, but it's about, I'm trying to get to the bottom. So I want people there that have gone through all of this stuff, that have information, that could ask the questions. So I could sit there and listen just like you and everybody else and determine the facts and too. I'm not, so, having a conversation with me does nothing for it. Yeah, we could have a conversation and agree to have a conversation. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, Joy Reid has invited him to go do a conversation to mediate between us. He has declined. I've invited him. He says he hasn't blocked me. So let me explain to you. He has not blocked me on his phone, and he has not blocked me on Substack, but somehow he has blocked me on his lives. I see when he goes live, but I cannot go there. I cannot join him on his live because believe me, I would join him on his live. He keeps, because people keep telling me, Lev, why don't you join him? I will join him glad happily on his live. I'm not, I'm trying to explain to everybody, Michael Cohen, look, let's understand because, some people, because he used to be part of this community, because we all used to be somehow associated and everything. Some people think this is like personal vendettas,
Yeah.
personal attacks,
Mm-mm.
that we're having internal fighting. People are taking sides. Folks, this is not about sides. If you're taking sides, there's something wrong with you. There's only one side, the side of truth and the side of the survivors. If I did something wrong, you should be crucifying me. If Dean did something wrong, we will crucify Dean.
Believe it's called accountability, right?
Right. If Zev
Yeah.
tomorrow, we find out if Zev did something wrong, we're going to go after Zev. I mean, it's not about that. Like right now, it is what it is. Michael has been in the name. Is it fair, unfair? I don't know, Michael. I really don't. I don't know. If you did nothing wrong, maybe it's unfair, but it's unfair for you not to confront it. The problem is he is not confronting. He keeps going, doing lives. He keeps by himself. Just think about it. He does a live. He does not invite me, Dean, Ellie, or anybody else that he talks about. He tries to keep talking about building some community. He keeps writing letters about expecting some kind of apology. I don't know. He wants us to apologize to
But
him
like
for
he wants an apology of G from who? Like you and me
from
or
me,
Zev
yeah,
or
from all of
from
us, from
you?
all from all of us, like
For
to
what?
apologize that we're wrong. So I said to him, "What are we wrong about? What?" So then all of a sudden, this weekend, I get bombarded with his people, I guess that subscribe to both of us, saying to you, "Lev, that's it. Michael Cohen has the receipts. He spoke to the lawyer. Blah 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 blah." I said, "Great." You know, so I did I wasn't even planning on going live. So I did a live on Sunday, especially prior to the Super Bowl. I figured, beautiful, I'll do a Q&A since we didn't get a chance to do it, and I'll give a chance to Michael to come up and let's right before the Super Bowl, let's hash it out. What's the breaking news? He didn't show up again. Again, he started playing games. That he's at lunch with his son. He'll call me later. He won't do this, and again, I have no idea what the receipts are. I even I brought up some subscribers that are still paid subscribers to both of us, and I
Yeah.
had them up on the show on Sunday. And I was like, can someone tell me, because I can't listen to what he's doing, can someone tell me what is going on? What is Michael saying? And they're like, well, Michael's saying that he spoke to the Epstein, the survivors, to Katie Johnson's lawyer, and he spoke to Joy Reid, and that everything is great, and he has vindication, and now everybody has to apologize. And I'm like, what is going on?
What so let me question. He spoke to Katie Johnson's lawyer, spoke to
I don't
Joy
know.
Reid. He's been fully vindicated. Did he offer any like receipts
I
of
don't
that
know.
vindication? No.
I have not seen that. I've not spoken to him. I have not seen Joy Reid put anything up. Folks, we're not going to write him off. I'll tell you why. Because this is not a personal vendetta, and I want you to understand, Martin.
We're
We're
not
not
here to
attacking
cancel
Mike.
Michael Cohen. We're here to get
We're
Michael
not.
Cohen onto the right side to help the
We
victims. That's what we're
no,
here
I
for.
don't. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, I don't even care about getting Michael Cohen on the right side. I just want to help the victims.
Yeah.
I want to get the truth out. So so we're not attacking Michael Cohen. We're talking about Michael Cohen, just like we would be talking about Donald Trump, Steve Bannon, Michael Wolff, or anybody else. Howard Lutnick. We're going to talk about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is we're going to talk about later today. So these are all individuals that we are talking about. The reason why some of you feel that it might be like talk is because you guys know Michael Cohen, and you think that somebody says we badmouth him pretty much from him Browning. He doesn't do anything. Some of you, I honestly tell you, if you really support Michael Cohen, I feel bad for you. I tell you honestly, because you should be supporting the truth. If Michael Cohen comes out here and gives the truth, then we will all support him. But anyway, I'm not gonna get caught up with some of the people there because I guess they want Michael Cohen. Get him. I would love to have Michael Cohen. So let me go over the text messages with Michael Cohen, I guess.
Okay.
So this way we get over. So yesterday I texted him. I said, Michael, people have been reaching out to me saying that you have some breaking information about the Epstein case. I am currently doing a live on Substack. Please come join me and we can discuss. He sent me a picture of eggs and said, I'm out to lunch with my son. We can speak later. Then he sent me a letter that he put out surviving the smear that he put out, basically saying that we smeared him. Then after he texted me, after we speak, maybe tonight we do a special together and you be the voice that reunites a fractured community. Then he texts me a copy of a text message between him and somebody. It says Tom, and it says basically, I don't know who you are. Something like that. I don't know Michael Cohen, who you are. I never dealt with the Michael Cohen. Can you simply acknowledge who the attorney you did communicate with? Political article says. So basically, it says me a screenshot of some kind of text message. I don't know what that text message means. There's no content to it. There's literally. Then he says, texts me from Katie Johnson / J. Doe's lawyer. He explained much to me that, as I have said, is exactly why this is so confusing. Now, I don't know why it's so confusing because he could clear it all up. Like, why is he confused? I'm trying to understand how he's confused. He was like, it's like if somebody would if I would say I'm confused at what happened in Ukraine with Zelensky, like, I was there. How could I be confused? I know the story. I'm the one. So
And to your point, JP just put in the chat, and I think it's a great comment. It sounds exactly like the out of context excuses that Donald Trump uses. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
look at this receipt, and the receipt is out of context. It might have something to do with it, might not. But just trying to convince other people that, oh no, I'm on the right side. I'm right. Look at this tweet. Look at this picture. Look at this guy. And did I hear you correctly saying the lawyer that he tagged you with said he had no idea who Michael Cohen was?
Yeah. So I don't even know what that means. So,
Well,
what
from
is
what I understand, if I'm not mistaken, is he said that he talked to, Katie Johnson's lawyer, and is that the lawyer that he's referring to? And then this lawyer says, "Hey, listen, I don't know, new phone, who dis?" Is the kids say, "I have no idea who you are, Michael Cohen."
right? So I'm saying, Michael, come up here. That's why. I texted him again today, folks, just so you understand. Because last night, I guess he went live again. I don't know because somebody sent me a text saying that Michael Cohen went live during the Super Bowl, and he didn't look well. He was screaming, yelling, and again going the fact that nobody's responding to him, and all this other stuff. So, today I woke up and Dean, you said we were going to do our live. We're going to do it 12 o'clock. So I
Yep.
came out and I said, let's be fair again because I don't want anybody to think that this is, we're ganging up. We're trying to get to the truth. So I texted him again today at 10:55. I said, hey, Michael, we're going live between 12 and 1. Come join and let's discuss all of this calmly. No Jerry Springer. I want you to calmly come explain everything everything you want to explain. All I care about is getting down to the truth. So he responds to me, is there a reason you continue to refuse to simply call me? You were wrong, plain and simple. You can either be the voice to reunite or continue to make false and defamatory comments, which
Mm.
does nothing but fracture the community. It's your call. So then I had to respond to him again. I responded to him. I said, Michael, I have to disagree with you. I have nothing to apologize to you about because you refuse to go live with me
Mhm.
and to discuss the facts. Instead, you choose to go live by yourself, accuse me and others like Ellie and Zev and Dean of attacking you and trying to steal your subscribers. It's insane. Let's stop all of the back and forth. We're going to be live at 12 o'clock. Join us.
Yeah.
Let's discuss everything calmly. I'll be happy for you to clear everything up so this community could heal like you wanted to.
Mhm.
So, how about it? Come join me. And then I text him, it's about clearing it up, Michael. It's getting to the truth. Isn't that what we all want? Then he responds to me. Is there a reason you are hesitant to speak with me privately before playing to a crowd for subscribers and rage baiting? I respond to him. I say, come up, Michael, I'm live, come up. Let's have a calm conversation. I'm genuinely interested about your call with Katie Johnson's lawyer.
Yeah.
He responds to me after we speak privately.
Mm.
I go, it's not about rage baiting, Michael. You have gone live and said a lot of things. So it's only fair that we discuss it live because I think you owe the subscribers and others an apology for attacking everyone for just asking you simple questions.
Mm.
And if I did something wrong, I will be the first to apologize to you in front of everybody on the Substack.
Yeah. Me too. Think we
He
don't have to.
responds to me. Let's agree to disagree on that. As I disagree on your defamatory statements about me, if you want to speak, as I have offered to you weeks ago, call. And yes, you did many things wrong and you owe me an apology. It's not an act of weakness, it's an act of strength. I believe or hope that you choose strength. So, so, so here, so I mean,
Oh my god. Oh my god. Can we just take a second and psychologically analyze the Michael Cohen, Roy Cohn, Donald Trump school of manipulation, trying to, and by the way, to the wrong dude who knows all. I've never heard you once defame the man. Number one, so he put some legalese in there to make you feel threatened, right? Oh, you defamed me. Number two, what he does is he doesn't say you hurt him. He says you're destroying a community. That's him projecting because he knows that he's wrong. He knows that he's caught in something that he does not want to explain. And what that is, I don't know. And the last part here, and I think it's worth noting, specifically the way that you have dealt with him. And folks, I can attest to Lev's character and his inflexibility when it comes to the morality at hand. This man has never once shit talked Michael Cohen behind his back to me. He always talks about how it's a shame. There's lots of great information that could help the victims. And he is just going to simply continually ask Michael Cohen to be accountable for what he says he knows in a documented fashion, not just with Lev and not just here, but in the Epstein files, which are at hand. So when we're having this conversation today about why this is not a fight, we continually give him the opportunity and the platform to come here and say, hey, let's start at the beginning. Who's who? What's what? And explain your conversations, explain the impetus, explain the motive, and tell us with receipts, because we have receipts. That's what Ellie does for a living. That's what Zev does for a living. That's what our team exists to do, is bring you the truth and then to say, here's why we know it's the truth. It's dated, it's timestamped, and these are the words of the person who spoke them. These are the actions
Yeah.
of the individual who did them. And so in a post-truth society, a guy like Michael Cohen, who's long in the tooth from his way of doing things in the Trump regime, is unable to pivot in that capacity. And that's the concern, because there is a lot at hand here.
Hey! I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dean. There's one of your subscribers, or my subscribers, or Michael Cohen's. Her name is Tammy. She's in here. Can you do me a favor? Can you try to bring her up, because she's very outspoken about. I'm curious why anybody would support or Skip Day. There's Skip Day is also. Please, Skip Day. Can you please bring Skip Day up? These people sound like reasonable people, but I'm trying to understand what is it that Michael told them. Maybe you could share with us and this community. So because Michael won't share it with us, so instead of insulting us, we're not insulting you, we're not insulting Michael. Please come up and let's have. We're trying to get to the truth. Skip Day, if you or Tammy or Skip Day, if you guys have any information, like please come up and tell us why are we trying to destroy Michael Cohen or somebody. Please come on up. Skip Day. I don't want to watch the video. You keep saying watch the video. Come on up and explain to us. You're very outspoken. If you support Michael Cohen, explain to us why. So we could support him with you. Tell us what it is. What is it? Because you constantly, it doesn't make. Are you part of a cult? Do you not care about the survivors? Do you not care about asking questions? I'm just trying to curiously understand. See, Michael Cohen won't do that. You know what Michael Cohen does? When somebody asks him a question, he insults them. He blocks them. He calls them names, Skip Day. That's why nobody, he doesn't bring him up and say, why don't you come up and to have a conversation with us? We want that conversation with you because I'm trying to understand what individual could really give Michael Cohen right now $8 or $1 or even for free to go sit there and listen to him. I'll talk about his blood pressure. Talk about, what about the survivors' blood pressure? What about the kids that got? Let's understand, Skip Day, because you and Tammy and all of you think about. I'm going to give you a little lesson about who your God, Michael Cohen, because I think if you pray to Michael Cohen, you're praying to Donald Trump because they're the same individual, deflecting and like Michael Cohen was there. Michael Cohen was involved. Michael Cohen was taking a bullet for him. Michael Cohen knows where all the bodies are buried, and there's a lot more because we're
Now
going
we're
to have
getting
right
into it.
now. We're going to have what's it called? Katie come up here, Justice, which found some more interesting stuff about Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen's name is all over the Epstein files, and not like some, but where people are asking about business transactions, if Michael Cohen might be guilty of certain stuff. People are asking about and the most sickest thing, that Skip Dade and Tammy. How do you sleep? Do you have kids? How do you sleep? How do you look at your kids and take a look and see if that was KD Johnson, 13-year-old? He explained to you what? Well, why don't you come explain to us, Tammy? I'm ignorant. Come explain to us you're scared to come up. That's the problem. So we're gonna
Mm.
leave Tammy and Skip there. You guys could enjoy.
I invited them both. They didn't respond, so I invited
No, they're
Kate
not.
Justice instead, and we'll get
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
they won't come on. Which
They
hey,
will.
listen, this is and let me explain to everybody. Like, I know that conflict is difficult for people, but what you're not seeing here, what you're seeing here is not conflict. What you're seeing here is impassioned, impassioned advocacy to get to the bottom of 4 decades of pedophilia, 4 decades of sex trafficking, the theft of the innocence of thousands of children and women. That's what we're trying to get to the bottom of it. And where there are inconsistencies and it sits within any community, it's incumbent upon that community to root out those inconsistencies with facts, real, honest facts. And so when you listen to Lev challenge people who are sticking up for someone who might know something that could help the victims, but refuses, in our estimation, by all metrics, just metrics, not opinions, metrics, says he has information but won't share the information, and there are severe inconsistencies with that information. There are people who are giving their lives to try to get justice for these women and children whose lives were destroyed, people. That's what you need to truly ingest here. So when I see some people commenting that Michael's this or Lev's that or I'm this or move on, there's no moving on from
No,
this
we're not.
subject.
We're not moving on. We're just getting
This isn't
started.
just about your democracy.
We're going to
This is about
Washington about
justice
this.
for the yes. We're putting money and lives behind the movement to help victims. So when you're standing up for somebody based on their version of the truth, and let me point this out, sans one factual receipt of that truth, sans being French for without or none, no information, no facts to back it up, you have to keep asking those questions. Why? Because the point is trying to get relief for victims and the United States of America to get you out of this lie that has destroyed lives, that has ended in the murder and the death of innocent women, children, people, individuals, to get that international criminal enterprise parading around as a government out of your lives and to restore sanity in the United States of America. Those are secondary to the original purpose that Lev is living for right here in this conversation. Being willing to walk away from a decades long relationship with someone that he works with. Do you know why? Integrity. That's why. That's why. So please enjoy the
Hey, brother.
conversation and
Yeah.
feel like you can be part of it, because if you're going that direction, we are too. And I'll tell you about the difference between zero tolerance and some tolerance. Zero tolerance is none. Some means, yeah, I'll figure it out according to whatever moral principles guide me that day, according to what's good for my financial interests. Okay. And I'm going to make a statement that I made on Substack. I'd encourage you to go to deanblundell.substack.com to check it out. Everyone and anybody that refuses to advocate for the victims of rape, pedophilia, violent sexual abuse, and the theft of the innocence of a woman or a child, anybody who runs interference, supports, appreciates, doesn't come forward with the proper information, that sits in front of Donald Trump and goes, that's a guy I can vote for, you're fucking complicit. You are persona non grata to people like me and people like Lev who respect women, who spend their lives having and protecting children, who know the difference between what right and fucking wrong. My friends, that is where we are. There are two political parties that exist right now. One that's pro pedophilia and one that isn't. You're going to have to fucking
Absolutely.
decide which party you want to be a part of.
Absolutely, and folks, and I'm going to keep telling you every single day, Michael Cohen. You're going to keep hearing his name. You're going to keep hearing Bannon's name. You're going to hear Donald Trump's name. You're going to keep hearing all of these names because you know why? They are part of our petition, folks. We have a petition, and that's why we want each and every one of you to go sign this petition because what that petition says is for the Epstein survivors, and this is the crazy part for people that say, move on. Let's talk about it. There is no moving on. There is no talk about it because let me tell you, since July 6th, that day when Pam Bondi came out and tried to hide, and Donald Trump, and they said there is no more, we're shutting down the Epstein files. There's nothing to see here. From that day, I've made it my personal mission, and Dean has joined me on that mission, and so has Ellie, and so have others to make it accountability. And we've been on with Waj and others every single day on our Substack talking about accountability, even when other news forums out there, when the pundits, when they're all out there trying to change the news cycle, when Donald Trump went out there and did everything he could to change the news cycle, we stood strong, and every single day we kept going out there and kept bringing and keeping this this in the spotlight. And now it is in the spotlight. Now it is important. Now the world is realizing that this is what unites everybody, what's destroying MAGA, and is our only tool right now to be able to go out there and save our democracy. So we're not going to stop. We're only getting started. We're on our way to Washington D.C. We're going to be there. Mark the date. It is. And Michael, why don't you come there? Why don't and speak in front of Congress? You don't need a subpoena, Michael. You don't need to stand there and talk about subpoena me. You could be, just like I wrote. You could write a letter and show it to everybody. You don't have to say I made phone calls where nobody could see these phone calls. You could go right now. Join us January 11th. Pam Bondi's going to be there. I'm going to be there. She's going to be testifying in front of Congress about the Epstein files. And I'll introduce you to her if you don't know her, Michael. And you could come up to her and say, you know what? I would like to tell you everything I know about Donald Trump. And I will be there and I could play it live, Michael. And you could be a hero. You could be a hero, literally, Michael, literally live on Substack. And as we're watching it, you telling Pam Bondi on February 11th about what you know about Donald Trump and the Epstein files. The offer's there. That's what we're going to do. We're going there because we need people like Ellie don't sleep at night. She has kids. She has a husband. She has a family. She does not get paid by some big corporation. She doesn't get paid by some big tech company or by some what's it called a nonprofit or some super PAC to go out there and do this stuff. She does it because she's a independent investigative journalist, because this is what this platform is about. And so the only person if anybody's destroying this platform, it's you, taking it away from people like Ellie, people from Kate Justice, people from Zev, people that are out there that don't have 80 or 90,000 subscribers like you do, because you come out there and all you want to preach to them that you know Donald Trump. You don't know Donald Trump from a hole in the wall, buddy. That's why I'm trying to come up here. You know the old Donald Trump. You know the Donald Trump that you went like 20 years ago. You haven't seen. When was the last time you were in a room with Donald Trump? When was the last time you were in a room with anybody in this organization? Why do you come out there and say you have sources that you do not have? Why do you discourage other people's sources that they do have? Why do you keep playing this game if you're out here trying to build a community? So don't play this bullshit and have all these people out here. I told you, any day, anytime, anywhere, I'm not going to go behind and talk to you privately. We have nothing privately to talk about. You want me to apologize? Bring it, brother. Come over here, show me where I did wrong, and I will apologize in front of the whole world. I'll go on national live television. But I promise you, if not, you need to answer some questions. And we have a lot of them. Go ahead, Ellie. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No.
Because
Tell me
And with that, welcome Ellie Leonard to the program.
Hi. I was going to break it down in black and white and just like some of the things that came up in the last week. And my stance is I have no background with Michael Cohen. Like we've met
no axe to grind.
I mean, I have a problem with the things that I've seen and how he treats journalists and how he treats women journalists. I think especially objectively, I have a problem with that. But I don't like people who make other people feel small. But the things, we have met, we have done a live or two together. And the thing that popped up originally that kind of set this whole thing in motion was he obviously got very defensive about the Katie Johnson thing right as we were logging off. But also he said more than once that Trump never mentioned the name Jeffrey Epstein in all the years that he worked for him. And I remember just sitting there going like, that is impossible. Like, that's impossible. He worked for him for something like 13 years or something like that. But here's the deal. So he's made this case that, as we've talked about Katie Johnson, and that happened in 2016. It was right before the election. It's when Cohen was, at the height of his Trumpdom, whatever you want to call it, that he didn't know about that case, or that case was something he was uninvolved with. He was involved with this other case that had a woman named Mary Jane Doe and an infant, and that he went looking, or his investigator went looking for this Jane Doe, and her address turned out to be a parking lot in the Bronx. So that is the information that he gave us. And then he called the lawyer back for this Mary Jane Doe, and they said they'd never actually met the person. It could be a dumb case. It didn't actually exist, blah, 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 blah. So we started digging, going like, okay, well then where is this? And this is supposed to be a case against Donald Trump. So we started digging, and there was no case. There was no case that existed
Yep.
in the things that he was describing, because I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that I'm going to look up this case that he's describing. Maybe he's right. Maybe it's not Katie Johnson, even though he would have been around during that time. Fast forward, I just happened to be in a podcast with a guy named Ed Opperman. I'd never met Ed before. He and I are just hanging out, talking about something completely different. In the middle of this podcast, he goes, "Oh, didn't you know I was Katie Johnson's private investigator? She hired me." And I was like, "What?" I about fell off my chair. I was like, "No, I didn't know that. I have so many questions. I can't think of anything to ask you right now." But so anyway, he and I have obviously talked quite a bit after that. Fast forward to us going on Joyanne Reid, she approached both me and Lev and said, Michael Cohen is going to come on, which he eventually caved, did not go on with us. But she said, he has brought me this case. I think he may be telling the truth. This doesn't look like the same case. It's a different Jane Doe. And I was like, is it okay if I read it? Would you mind if I read it? And she's like, sure. She gives it to me. I read through this case and I said, Joy, I said, I think this is the same case. I realized she started as Katie Johnson, which was also a pseudonym, and this is Jane Doe, the pseudonym. But I said, I'm seeing some real key details that are from the Katie Johnson case. The witness is Tiffany Doe. It has to do with 4 parties in like 1994, 1996. Like it was much of the same details. And she said, yeah, but I'm still seeing some differences. He could be right. And I said, would you mind if I took this to Katie Johnson's private investigator and asked him? And she said, sure, go for it. I take it to him and he goes, 100% that's the same person. He said she filed as Katie Johnson, but then she withdrew because she wasn't legally represented and she had made a bunch of mistakes in the filing. So she withdrew and she refiled in June. So she first filed in April 2016. She refiled in June 2016 as Jane Doe once she had legal representation. This was the same case. She had 3 lawyers who hopped on her case because they found it credible. One of them is Lisa Bloom. She's Gloria Allred's daughter. Like there's a lot of credibility there. And then I asked him, I said, Ed, did Katie live in the Bronx? Would there have been any Jane Doe associated with his case that was turned out to be a parking lot in the Bronx? He goes, hold on, I have everyone's addresses. I'm going to go look for you. So he goes and he looks through, he goes, nobody lived in the Bronx. Nobody lived near the Bronx. Like he's like, that has nothing to do with this case. That case, as far as I know, doesn't exist. And so I took that back to Joyanne Reid. And that, I think, was the stimulus for Michael Cohen not going on the show. And then from there, he had this other thing that he was talking about yesterday or the day before. He was saying that it was exonerating him, but I don't see it, because the things that he keeps giving me to exonerate him, I'm going, well, I can just look that up. I've got the investigator. He's saying, no, that's not true. Why do you keep bringing me things that are not true? Like,
Ellie, can I ask you a
Yeah.
quick question? Are you in regular contact right now with Michael? Like, is he trying to send you things to
Nope.
No,
Not a
Michael,
single thing.
no.
Okay,
He
sorry, I
doesn't. He
misunderstood.
doesn't. No,
No,
he, no, he,
Lev,
no,
through
no.
Lev.
Through me.
Oh, okay.
He, no, he doesn't even acknowledge you. He
Oh,
doesn't.
so you're
he
using
called,
Ellie as a fact checker.
yeah, I mean, listen, and
Ah.
I told you, listen, but
That's my
I
job.
told Michael, but I told Michael and I told Joy the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
this is why it's not like I'm not claiming to know something I don't. Before I say something, I speak to Ellie, we speak to Zeb, we speak to Kate, we all as a team, my son Aaron.
That's how you
believe me,
fucking do it. You quadruple check, and you can. And Michael's just
Right.
handing you these
he keeps
pockets full of shit. Going, here's my
right,
stuff. Here's my
Well,
and the
stuff.
problem,
that's my.
yeah.
If he had just in the first place said, I'm unconnected and here's why, and it was just like, there's things that we can look up and then move on, that would be fine for me. But I have a problem with, again, I don't have a personal problem with Michael, but I have a problem with him continuing to give us stuff and saying this is something, and then we go look it up with the investigator who worked with the legal team, and he's like, that's not true. And so why do you keep giving us things that are not true? Like, if you want us to support you and believe you and support the community, we need truth. We need some honesty so that we can move on and obviously take down the bad actors in this case, which he was around them. He has the ability to be the hero. If he let it all out. Like he knows more than most people. But he keeps bringing things to us that are not credible, and that is pulling us farther and farther away.
Mm.
And it's more than that. It's and then this is why I want everybody to understand. That's why I'm not going to speak to him privately, because it's like Donald Trump wanting to speak to me privately right now. It's the same thing. For what are we? Because he's showing it's the same MO. Instead of getting to the bottom, he attacks. He keeps insulting Ellie. Like, just think about. I mean, you guys know Ellie. Like, how could you insult Ellie? Like, I mean, I can understand he's insulting me. Okay, I can understand he wants to call me. Like, how are you going to go insult Ellie? Like, what? How are you going to go insult
It
Tara? How are you going to
happens.
go insult like no? But I'm saying to you, how are you going to go insult Dean? Like Dean Blundell? Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, or is that like you don't
That might
even
be
know him?
easier to do than Ellie for sure.
Right, but but I'm saying to you, like, but how do you like why?
Yeah.
Like, see that's
Yeah.
Donald Trump's MO.
Well,
Instead of
and you know what,
it's
dude?
like
And I'll tell you, this is
constantly calling us a wolf pack,
yeah.
talking about how we're trying to steal his subscribers. Just think about he's projecting at what he's trying to do. This is Donald Trump's MO. Like that's all he cares about, subscribers. That's all he cares about, mentioning all of these things. He doesn't talk about actually ever doing anything. He only
Yeah.
just talks, and and again, at
Well,
the end of the
and
day,
to be fair, Lev, like to be fair, in the last like 7 minutes, Ellie just with receipts busted him
Yeah.
again. Like like
Well, it's just and I
it's
think it was very cool that the universe presented me with Ed Opperman in my lap, where I was like, holy cow, I just crossed paths with the guy who actually knows the entire case and all the people involved. Like off the record.
wow.
He knows everybody. I was like, that's a fantastic source.
Okay. So would he be able to help us with what Ghislaine Maxwell did on the stand today? I don't know if anybody knows this. She literally just finished in closed door testimony, the House Oversight Committee, where she literally something like 144 billion times, and I am exaggerating, repeated her Fifth Amendment privilege and wouldn't say a fucking word. This is, of
Yeah.
course, after her proffer agreement where she was allowed to lie her tits off. Sorry, Lev, go ahead. Yeah.
So I have some breaking news on that, like
Okay.
that I'm going to share with you guys. We're going to talk about more of it later on. I'm going at 3 o'clock with Waj as I get some more information. But you saw a setup basically for what we've all been worried about, talked about. I'm hearing that her pardon is in the works now, full
Yeah.
force. What you saw play out today was part of the
No.
plan. Yes, it was part of the plan, because if you hear what Comer came out and said afterwards, he came out and said that Maxwell, and this is very important, Maxwell is willing to talk about everything. A couple of things he said that are very important. He said, and this is where the groundwork, just like Cohen laid out the groundwork for Trump to be able to get off on the Letitia James and case by putting that article out, which we'll talk
Mhm.
about separately. What she did today is the same exact thing, but laying out the groundwork for her pardon and to lay out a lot of people and try to exonerate Trump and set up the Democrats. So this is what I'm hearing. The plan is basically she came out and said that she will talk only if Trump gives her what's it called, a pardon. She didn't say immunity. Usually, people that want to testify ask for immunity deals, not to be able to get against. She asked for Trump to let her get her off the basically give her a pardon. She also her lawyers prior to her testifying in staying the fifth also made a statement by saying that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. That's how they started off. They said that that Donald did nothing wrong, but she's not going. She's going to assert her fifth. So basically, this is another atomic or whatever you want to call it plan that's being put in motion to be able to all of a sudden give him validation of why to give a pardon, because you wanted the truth. Well, I gave her a pardon so she could tell you everything she knows, and we already heard what her part of the story is going to be if she's ever given that chance to talk, because we've seen it already with Blanche play out with Blanche. So literally, I've gotten bits and pieces about that, but that's what I'm hearing. I'm working, and that's not even to consider the shit that I'm hearing right now, guys and Ellie, about what Tulsi Gabbard, what's going on, because I know a lot of moving parts, a lot of things happening. But in the meantime, one of the most atrocious things that is happening is what Tulsi Gabbard and what John Ratcliffe and Bondi and they are doing behind the scenes. What's taking place right now with the information that they have taken from Georgia. I'm hearing that there's indictments that are being planned there, and to use it as a modelization of what Donald Trump calls election reform, what he calls the American Save Act, what he calls, federalization of elections, because he doesn't know. So there's a lot. This is the real story. So when we talk about Michael Cohen and we talk about this, it's not because it's fun or it's a reality show, but because Michael Cohen could be a key to the link that unravels this whole thing, folks.
Right.
You have to understand that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ellie. I'm
I
sorry.
was just gonna say, like, I think with this latest dump of Epstein files, like before it was like a handful of us digging through them, like Aaron's digging through them, like there's a few people on Substack digging through them and just like staying up all night. It really feels like everybody is doing it this time. Like everybody is working together. We've created this giant co-op. And I wish for someone like Michael Cohen, who does inevitably know something. I don't know what he knows, but he worked for Trump for 14 years or 13 years or however many years it was. I wish he would be reading through the Epstein files and he would see some of the atrocities and some of the
Thank you.
violence. Right? Like I wish he was seeing it because he has kids. Like all of us have kids, or if you don't have kids, like kids. Like I just wish he was seeing what damage was done and how brutal it was, because it might make him think a little bit about like how important it is to hang on to information when you can help. Like all we want to do is help. Like that's the point.
And you're so Ellie. I can't even tell you. I would hug you right now because this is exactly no. But what you just said, everybody just think what she just said. Like, can you imagine Michael Cohen was a part of our, like, if he really meant what he said and he was a part of our team? Can you imagine we had Michael Cohen and all of us now? We could not forget about even like the Katie Johnson thing for a second. Just even though that I'm not going to, and that's not even an issue. But even like just for argument's sake. Think about all the people he knows in the files. Howard Lutnick, he talks about that him and him are, known each other for 20, 30, whatever years he knows. The relationships he had with Bissett and others that are in the files that he could talk about, say, oh, I remember in 2012 that deal Lutnick was offering Trump maybe and that. Something even like that. That's what we're talking about. It's not even maybe what you were actually a part of, because when I was being deposed, and I'll give you my personal experience. When I was deposed for Congress, before I testified in front of Congress, they deposed me for months and months of nonstop going back for hours and hours. When Michael Cohen says he's the only one that was deposed in front of Congress, and he doesn't know what he's talking about for hours. And they asked me questions about everything, not only about what I was involved with, but what I might have heard when I was in the room, because and so much important things come out of that. And that's why I want to ask Michael, because I've also had experience. That's right. Some people said you work for Trump. Absolutely. Think about it. I know the question said. That's why Michael doesn't want me to ask the question, because I know how Trump reacts. I know how Trump acts. I know how Trump would have delegated that deal to him. That's why I want to ask him, Michael. How did you get that folder? Forget Katie Johnson. Forget all that. I want to stop for a second, and everybody, just for a second, think about it. This is 2016. This is a month before the presidential election race. This is weeks before Michael came out on CNN and said that he's willing to take a bullet for this guy. This is during the time where Michael Cohen is intimidating Stormy Daniels, screaming at reporters, as proudly walking around with his chest in front that he is the fixer, he is the man, working out deals, involved in everything. I want to sit down and say to Michael, what was going on during that period of time?
Yeah.
What did you hear? What was Lutnick doing? What was Witkoff doing? You know Witkoff so well. Every time I try to talk about Witkoff and everything else, you go a different subject. What was Witkoff up to there? You say you know Jared and Ivanka. What were they up to? What were they doing while this one was doing it? What were you being tasked to do with besides? Because you weren't running the campaign. What were you doing, Michael? What was Trump asking you to do? What was being said during those? What was in the room when you guys sat there and all of a sudden the Jane Doe case came up, or the Stormy Daniels and this came up, and what was the reaction? What was being said? This is the question. We never have these conversations. This is the type of shit that we need to talk about. This is what we talk about. This is what me and Ellie talk. This is when Zev calls me up and we sit here and talk about my past. I have no issue. Zev, how many times we sit here and Zev says, "Well, what about this?" I'll say, "Okay, let me tell you."
Dude,
Oh,
dude,
by the
the
way, this
coffee and
would
tea
have.
on the weekend, you literally recapped 30 years of running money for the mob. And Zev was like, let's move on to something else. I'm like, shut up, Zev. We're fucking getting the goods. Like, we're to your
But that's
point. I mean, and that's the difference is there's an authenticity that doesn't exist in any of the information that we get from anybody, including that side of the equation that never bears out in any of the research that experts, legitimate fucking research expert journalists like Ellie Leonard and Zev Shalev and Kate
Can you imagine? Yeah,
Justice. I mean,
that's
fuck.
right. Can you imagine you
Yeah.
guys, Ellie Leonard and Zev had Michael, and my son had Michael Cohen at their
Oh, and Aaron.
disposal
Who,
while they were going through the files, where they could call him up and say, "Hey, Michael, you were
yeah,
with him in 2012. We're seeing these emails in 2012 or
correct.
2015 or 2000." Bannon, well,
What do you
take a look at your notes, Michael. Take a look at your schedule on
Yeah.
July 6th when Bannon was with Epstein. Say, what were you doing? What was going on? Can you imagine having that? See, that's what we want from Michael
He would
Cohen.
hold the power to almost the
Yeah,
entire case.
exactly.
It's like
That's what
it's
we
like an
want from Michael Cohen.
investigation. This investigation with how many bigwigs that are involved, the entire case is built on self-preservation, like social self-preservation. Like they don't want to turn in their friends because it's a big social club and they know that they're all
Thank
guilty.
you.
And if one person starts to teeter, right? The whole thing goes down. And I'm sure there's a lot of conversations offline about that. And probably some of them are threatening, probably some of them are more friendly, but like I really feel like this whole thing is built on self-preservation because it's a giant club. And
Especially that
yeah.
New York City club, especially, and that's very
Yes.
important,
Yeah.
especially right, and especially the Trumps who surrounds Trump right now.
And it goes
All of
back
these
decades.
decades, exactly.
Yeah.
The Witkoffs, the Lutnicks, and all of them, and the Michaels, and all of a sudden, that's why they're all in that crowd, and that's what I'm saying to you. That's why I'm telling him, like, yeah, you have a lot you could talk about that you were not maybe involved with that you heard of. But whatever, Michael, we're not going to stop on Michael. Let's switch gears a little bit to Elon Musk also,
Yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot.
Listen, there are
There's a
two
lot of.
people that are having a couple of bad weeks, and Elon Musk is one of them. Michael
I'm so
Cohen
happy.
is another one. Not only did the government of France and fucking Europol raid his ex offices, and Elon's like, it's a political attack. He's now gone missing, by the way. Fucking nobody knows where Elon is. He's like, have you seen Elon? No, he's hiding from somebody. But he actually is in even more trouble now because if you've been following some of Ellie's reporting, and everybody here, hit that Chiron at the top. Smash that subscribe button for my friend Ellie Leonard, who does this
definitely.
because it's the fucking right thing to do. She just happens to be really, really good at it. Same with Lev. Hammer him too. He's right about fucking everything all the time. It's annoying. It's like my buddy Steve Schmidt. They're both the same. It's like they're both fucking right all the
I
time.
need to hang out with Steve. I've been talking to Steve. I need to hang out with
He's the king.
Yeah.
He's the king.
Yeah.
He says hi, by the way. I talked to him this morning. So, this community is incredible. It's all people doing it for the fucking right reasons. Anyway, so we get the Elon Musk information. Not only did Elon pine to go back to Epstein Island, spend more time with Jeffrey Epstein, and there are lots of interactions, but I read something that you put out, and it's been widely now circulated that said that Kimball Musk, Elon's brother, was really happy with the young girl that Jeffrey Epstein procured for him. Elon and the Broligarchy, but let's focus on Elon. Elon is one of those guys, like I think in to some respects Cohen is right now, where he's like, "Oh yeah, release the files," and then when they get released, he's like, "Oh my god," right?
I know. Go ahead.
Al?
Well, you know what? I don't even think
They released the files. Oh my god!
I think Kate might actually have posted that. I don't know if I posted that, but I do have thoughts on that.
And we're gonna bring Kate up also because Kate has been doing some incredible work.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think Kimball has really like hidden the side. Is he the one with the big cowboy hat and he like goes quiet? Yeah. Okay. He's really done a somewhat good job of not being in the main media while his brother is just doing everything that he's doing. He's really like been very quiet to the point where I was like, maybe he's normal. I don't know. And then I started kind of looking into him. I was like, nah, he's not normal. Yeah, it sucks, but like every day I'm becoming more immune to being surprised by anything. Like I'm becoming more immune to being like surprised if my favorite television personality or if my favorite like writer or whatever showed up in these files, because you start to realize, and this is something a friend told me, I want it on a t-shirt, but like it's not political. You can see that it's clearly across the board.
Yep.
It is the wealthy versus the rest of us. Like that's the two political parties we're looking at. It's wealthy and then us. And that is what it is. And so you're seeing this wealth gap that we've always talked about, this 1%. The 1% is the Epstein files, right? That is the Epstein files. There's very few people in that 1% who are not connected to the Epstein files. Guess what? Money screws you up. So the fact that I'm sure Elon was there, I'm sure Elon's dad probably hung out or tried to, like his brother, like none of this surprises me anymore, because it was everybody, there was no genuine relationships. It was just a superficial need to be close to the pulse of money, of
Power.
importance,
Influence,
of
power.
Right. I need to have the biggest Rolodex. It was just a lot of that. And so these people were willing to sacrifice their entire moral standards to get that. And you see that a lot with like the professors, like these people who you would never expect to be in a room full of 13-year-old girls. They're like 90-year-old professors. You can see that they felt important in that moment. So they went and they did the thing. And that's on them. That's not on anybody else.
You know, what's really disconcerting about this, because Ellie's reporting is 100% accurate. This is the 1% or less than 1%, and everything they get to enjoy while subjugating us to not just paying for it, but really fucking paying for it in the cases of Minneapolis and Chicago, et cetera, et cetera. It's that whole idea of a secret underground society of the richest trillionaires in the world left to their own devices, including a pedophile sex trafficking network for the purposes of power and influence, actually fucking exists. Like the one that we all heard about growing up, you know, the one that we're all like, oh, there's no secret. Like in Mike Myers, So I Married an Axe Murderer. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. The Pentaverate, the secret underground society, the Rothschilds, the Gettys, and Colonel Sanders before he went tits up. Yeah. No, but there is.
It's a watermelon on top of a toothpick. Sorry, I can't do a Scottish accent.
Head, move now. But that's one of those things that's been like this aha moment for me as a almost 53-year-old. It's like, oh my God, it's all fucking true. It's happening now in my lifetime. And really kind of the other thing, and I want to talk a little bit about this too with you guys before we let you go, is the incredible work. And I said this when I was in Denmark and Greenland, because everybody was like, what are you guys fucking doing here? Because I was with some Americans. We're like, we're here to repair relationships. We're here to beg for forgiveness for the Americans and to tell you they're not with with Donald Trump. And 300 million Americans are currently being held hostage. And they are, because they know a fucking class war is coming if all of this gets put together in some kind of salient visual that we can all go, oh my God, we need to get them. And that's why they make you fight this culture war. That's why they make you fight against the trans community. That's why they take away birth and healthcare rights, is they want us to fight a fucking culture war. And I'm talking to Maggie and anybody else that's in this conversation, is that there is a group of citizens who have realized that. And they're all here today. And we associate with them all, right? Whether it's the Save America movement, whether it is Lev, whether it is Ellie, Zev, Kate Justice, Waj, the incredible Joyanne Reed. I mean, there's so many people here that are trying to do this incredible work too, because we got a duty to inform. But we know that this is true because we now have the receipts of it all, and we're not only ringing the bell, we got both fucking hands, and it looks like we're going crazy because we need you to know it exists, and we need you to know there's so many fucking more of us than them that now is our time. Now is
Exponentially.
our fucking time, right?
And I want to just say, I want to give some major props to you and Zev. I see that you guys, if you guys haven't read, Ellie and Zev have just also uncovered a young child's, basically, was a diary,
It's a
or is it
journal.
a
Yeah,
journal?
yeah.
A journal
I have
that
my assumptions
basically.
whose journal it is, but we have
uh,
not
we have not
definitively figured
we
that
have
out
not
yet.
definitely, we're not going to
Yeah.
tell you until we definitely know, but it's so sad and so sick to
Yeah.
see this. I couldn't even read the whole thing, I'll tell you.
Right.
Yeah, can
Well,
you do you
Go
mind, Ellie,
ahead,
kind
Ellie.
of taking us through, because you teased this today. I retweeted it. You and Zev have been working on this journal of a young lady that was
And by the way,
involved in this. Yeah.
and this is part of what we're taking to Washington, folks, and I'll tell you
yeah.
later what the plan is, but go ahead, Ellie.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they released a journal in the Epstein files, and not a lot of people saw it. So it's available to everyone, but like nobody reported on it. A lot of it is very, you'll get these like texty threads of the journal, but there's an actual like journal of magazine clippings and handwriting and everything. It is a 16-year-old girl's journal. It has her 16th birthday card. So we were able to research when that card was issued. We know that card was made in 1999, which makes this person having been born in 1983, which I'm doing my research on who that could be. Could be any of a number of people. I have my assumptions who it is. In this journal, she cuts out magazine clippings from Vanity Fair, a lot of stuff about the royal family, a lot of stuff about Ivana Trump. And then she makes cryptic messages around these clippings that mean something. And then she has these longer portions that are all in code. And the DOJ looked at this with 3.5 million files and was like, man, it's in code. Let's just toss it out, put it in the files. Nothing is redacted in this journal. So if you decode it, which it's not a very hard code, it's a kid creating a code. If you decode it, it's a long list of gentlemen who were abusers. It is politicians. It is people who work all in the upper echelons of AOL. It is Leon Black. It is descriptions of Leon Black that he's also been described doing in court cases elsewhere. He has MOs for the way that he abuses girls. It is this long list of men and some women, completely unredacted by a 16-year-old girl writing in her diary in code. And the DOJ didn't think to decode and redact it. So we have this information from 1999 through like 2002. So it's like,
is that available now?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
available now. So I've posted the first two portions side by side decoded with the original.
Okay.
We're going to post the third section of it tonight. And then what Zev is doing, and we've linked them all together. What Zev is doing is he's doing a breakdown, like a conversation piece based on the journal, and then I'm actually decoding the journal so you can read through it.
And then we're putting all that together in our package, and that's one of the pieces of major evidence that we're bringing to Washington, D.C. Because one of the things we're doing, folks, that is so essential that, I've been speaking to several
this
people.
is for a purpose, right? This week.
Oh,
Yeah, tell us about it. Yeah.
This is for a major purpose because, a lot of people don't realize and think just because Congress has could get anything done. It's not like that, folks. They don't have the wherewithal. They don't have the finances. They don't have the expertise or the people there to be able to search through what you see Ellie, Aaron, Zev, Kate, and the Krasensteins do. And not only them, but with our whole community here that are helping also, because there's so many of you warriors out there that may want to stay anonymous, and we respect that are helping and finding stuff. God bless each and every one of you. So what we're doing as part of this trip is we're opening up a line of communication with certain people like Massey, Rokana, which we already have, but we're now making it to a point where we're going to be sending them packages and we're also sending them packages of work every time, as Ellie gets something, as Zev gets something, as the Krasensteins, as Aaron. So they're already doing it on separate pieces, but we're going to do a line where it's going to the right people, to the right, and not just Rokana and not just Massey. We're also going to add people like, we need a firecracker like Congresswoman Crockett. She's incredible. She's incredible to keep the voice out and speak for the survivors. So we're going to to get her on it. We got Congressman Raskin also on the other side. So we're going to help them formulate even a bigger voice and give them the tools to use. So this way, every morning or every afternoon, just like we're going live here, we're also going to be putting together packages and sending it to them. So this way they have their talk. So they see all of the stuff they're covering, because it's just every day is something new. Every day you think, and we go to sleep thinking, oh my God, that disgusting email with that 10-year-old on there. How could they, and thinking, why are they blacking out the person that sent that email?
Right.
Or why are they
And
blacking out the person that
remember,
received it? Right.
and remember, these are shocking to us today, but
Right.
DOJ has had this for years and years
Correct.
and years.
Correct.
And
Correct.
Several administrations,
Several
several
administrations.
including
administrations.
this
There was,
regime.
but I will say there was an open investigation in the Biden administration that got shut down on January 20th, 2025.
What happened that day?
Just a little inauguration.
Donald Trump took office.
They shut down. I don't know how aggressive that investigation was. I don't know how thorough it was, but I do know there was an open investigation into the Epstein files that was shut down the first day he took office.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
No. Listen, I think consuming the kind of information we're talking about today is heavy, and I see it a lot in the chat today, which is totally understandable. I mean, the question sometimes, are we immune to these terrible things? No, none of us are. Not one of us. But there's something, again, I go back to this more important at hand here, and that's justice and transparency. And the deeper that we get into this with a citizen-led group, not the government, right? Keep in mind, this is a citizen-led group. You're getting the idea about what accountability looks like, where you've got Ellie Leonard, who's an incredible investigative reporter and a journalist, working with another Epstein files expert in Zev Shalev, to work with this entire community. And this is out of altruism, because it's the fucking right thing to do. That includes the Krasensteins. That includes Lev Parnas. That includes Aaron Parnas. That includes the Save America movement. That includes these people on this screen literally having to do the research on behalf of the government, on behalf of people who say they want transparency, to show up to the hearing, to hand them the information that they need to be able to truly understand the horrific nature of these crimes, because no one else is doing it. And so you can look at that two different ways, I think. You can look at that from, oh, well, the government's not doing anything. They don't want any answers. Matt, they might be taxed. They might be fighting different wars. It's politics. It is what it is. This isn't politics to anybody here. It's got nothing to do with politics. These people like Ellie, Zev, Lev, all of these people that we're featuring today in this one topic of discussion is purposeful, because this is all they do, and they do it for the right reasons. And so, take courage and take heart in that too. There's so much fucking hope in the idea that, the many outnumber the few at this point. And now it's up to us to go and deliver that, which is the importance of supporting Lev and his GoFundMe, which is in the chat here, because he's going to DC and he's taking a group of people with him to support people like Ellie, to subscribe to her work. This conversation is of the utmost importance. And to our earlier point, Ellie, we're 2 weeks into not even 2 weeks into the recent $3.5 million document dump. What's
sorry to interrupt you, but somebody just said that Michael Cohen entered the chat.
Do you want me to pop off so you got space?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, Ellie, why don't you pop off?
I'll see you guys in a bit.
Thank you. Can you bring Michael up?
Oh, does he want to come on?
Yes, that's why.
Yeah.
Absolutely, bring him on.
Let me see if I can get it. Michael Cohen. There he is. Invite sent. Just so you know, if it turns into Jerry Springer, I'm out.
There's no Jerry Springer. I mean, listen, I'm hoping that Michael finally, maybe realized that, listen, he could be a big help, and listen, this is not to smear him. Let's get him up here. Let's have a good conversation, and let's try to see how this community really could, help the survivors and help everything. I mean, and make sure that Donald Trump get him out of office. What we all talk about. Let me text him. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, he hasn't responded to the invite, so there you go. Either way, if we get him, we don't. We're going to wrap up here in just a second,
because we have a call. Yeah, I have a call.
Yeah, we got a call here in like 9 minutes, so we got to be on together. About transparency for victims about this very conversation about putting, words into action. And I think that's a good place to leave off today, other than to say thank you to everybody that spent some time with us today. This is real. This is our advocacy is real. Our desire to get transparency of the victims is real. And our effort to wrap our arms around America to get everybody on the same page is incredibly real. And so, if you really benefited from this conversation, if you understand things a little bit more today, this is the resistance. And hit that little gray chyron at the top. Give a sub to everybody that's been on the show, whether it's Ellie, Lev, or myself. And make sure you subscribe. The subscriptions get us to the top of the algorithm. More people will get the truth bared by real facts. And that's why we're here. We're not here to influence anybody. This isn't politics. I could give a shit. I'm not a card carrying member of any political party. I never have been. This is about muckraking. This is about going after corruption, but it's about doing it for the purposes of getting relief for victims that have been abused and trafficked and their innocence stolen. And I go back to that all the time. It's the most criminal human, the most human criminal thing you can do to another human being. And that's why we're having this conversation. So, with that, we've got a meeting. Mr. Cohen has not responded. That's fine.
Yeah,
We'll
so
invite him again.
he just actually texted me, said he's doing his live at 1:30. I don't know what that
Okay. Well, there you go. 1:30. We'll see him there. And my hope is that Michael Cohen becomes part of this solution. So we haven't insulted him. I've got nothing but love for anybody that wants to help.
I'll say,
So
if
hope he
Michael,
does.
if you want, I'm gonna text him and maybe he'll invite us. If after we get off our call, if he
Yeah.
unblocks me, I'll come join his live and we could talk on his live.
All right.
He has to unblock me though because I can't. Every time he goes live, I can't see it. So I'll text him and let him know. But Dean, I'll see you in a little bit.
Thanks, buddy. You got it.
Folks, everybody, thank you so much. Before we go, I know it's just a lot going on, but definitely, please, quick reminder, sign the petition, very importantly, because the 11th, like I told you, it's D-Day. This is when we all begin, we start. So we need you to make sure we have over 20,000 signatures, incredible, but we need to get a lot more. So keep signing the petition. We have a few days left until we go see Congress. Also, becoming paid subscribers, extremely important because not only does it help all of us, me, Dean, Ellie, all the independent journalists, because this is how we are paying our bills, basically, folks. We don't have no corporate media sponsors. But not only that, it helps with the algorithms. It helps get the message. So if you like what you hear what we have to say, if you want our message to be, that's the biggest way you could help spread the message is becoming paid subscribers if you can. If you can't, no. I don't want you to feel any pressure because this is a family. It's
Share.
Share. Exactly. Everybody could do something. Those that can become paid subscribers. Those that can share with somebody that might become a paid subscriber. And to end it off with, folks, keep continuing to give to Ukraine. We are doing some incredible work. Alexander, Chef Jose Andreas, also the Save Ukraine Foundation. We have partnered up all three and are just every day you're seeing miracles and just I could just tell you we're not going to stop there either. So continue helping all your help for Canada, America, all over the world. They're feeling it, they're understanding it. There's so many kids that are, I can't wait. They're sending me what's it called, videos. I just don't have. I'm going to start putting out videos of people. I just have to translate them. I just don't have the technology, but I want to send you when you see the faces and the way they are, the thankfulness of these kids and these parents and that are able to literally the simplest thing of having a heat, simplest thing of having some water and some food and all of that. It's just out of all of that, I want you to take that with you and keep it in your heart and use that as some positive energy, knowing that we do good things. Everything we do actually, sometimes you don't see it, but it actually is transpired. And so I want to thank each and every one of you for all the support that you guys give. God bless you guys.
Thanks, buddy. Always good to talk to you. Thanks so much for your time. Lev Parnas, give him a follow at Lev Members. Talk to you soon. Lev Parnas, I'll see you in the meeting we have in like 3 minutes. I'll see you on a Zoom call or something. I don't know what it's going to be. Thanks, everybody. Weekend Roundup was a heater today, wasn't it? Yeah. The Weekend Roundup really captures the essence of the enshittification of Donald Trump and the rest of the United States packages in a way where we can look forward and take some action. So we encourage you to continue to subscribe, continue to share. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining us today. I tell you what, I've done a lot of shows over my broadcast/podcasting career. Being able to do these shows, and the reason why we do them, is the professional honor of my lifetime. And I want to thank you because you're here and you validate the fact that the right thing can be the right thing for the right reasons. And I can tell you truthfully, Mr. Lev Parnas is a very serious customer when it comes to getting some relief for these victims, when it comes to doing the right thing. He has lived on the other side of this and has for a long time. That is the most changed, honest, authentic individual I've ever met. And that smile, that passion you see is very real. Same with people like Ellie, as measured as she is because she's analytical. If it weren't for people like Ellie, Kate Justice, Aaron, Parnas, Zev, Shalev, all of you that have taken time to just look for the truth, we're not here. And to the greater part of that conversation that we had about this being about the 1%, and yes, there is a cabal of 1%ers or less than 1%ers that do awful things to humanity, almost like we're their fucking guinea pigs. Let's start driving that narrative. We're not marks for trillionaires. We're not. And they force us into these political camps to make you think that you got to fight each other. You don't. You all want the same thing. 100%, well, 99% of the entire population in Canada and the United States wants the same thing. And that is transparency in government. And they want to stop billionaires from raping children. And they want to stop being under the fucking thumb of the oligarchy. And Canada is run by it just like the United States is run by it. It is. Make no bones about it. It's the same thing. But that's the essence of this conversation. And the transparency that we need will give us the fuel to get there, to get to that point where we don't allow these people to do these things to children, women, us. We don't have to buy the narrative and fight a culture war over a trans volleyball player. As fucking ridiculous as that sounds, because it is fucking ridiculous. It's what they're doing. And it all comes back to that. Have a great day, everybody. Hit subscribe. I've got 30% off for unlimited access, and you lock in that price forever. Right now, annual subscriptions at Substack, deanblundell.substack.com. $8 a month. Founding members would love to have more founding members, and that's okay. I love all of our subscribers. Founding members, you get your founding membership for life. You never pay again. However, it is free to subscribe, and that is the most important thing on top of sharing this kind of content so other people can have access to some facts and some truth and some empathy and some empathy and some decency and the militant need for those things, especially now. It's time to save democracy. It's time to get answers for victims. It's time to stand up for the marginalized. It's time to take our privilege and give it to that end result, which will help us save America. And another thing, go join the Save America movement, saveamerica.org. Very, very grateful to be part of that team. More on that. We'll have Steve Schmidt on this week again, one of the CEOs and founders of the Save America movement. But have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you with the 5 Stack at 3 o'clock right here and at narrative.org. Hang in there. Hang in there. We're winning. Trust me.